Hi, teachers. Thanks so much for those of you who helped out last weekend. It was a great kickoff to our indoor services again. I know at Thornton campus we had less kids than we had anticipated, less kids than had signed up. And I know at Fort Lupton you guys had almost double what had signed up, right? So both campuses had to be very, very flexible, and you teachers are just so appreciated. I thank you so much as we try to iron out all of these problems that we're having and get people back into coming back indoors for service, and get people to understand that they need to sign up before they come back to service. Things will get a little bit better, but we just thank you so much for your flexibility. And this week is going to be even better. Which brings me to this week. This week, if you're the storyteller, we're going to be teaching in 2 Kings in chapter 5, and it's going to be the whole story of Naaman. But rather than stopping where maybe we usually stop with Naaman after he is healed and everything is better for him because he obeys what Elisha said God had told him to tell him to do, after all of this, we're going to continue our story with one of Elisha's servants. His name is Gehazi, 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 and he is the servant that he notices. Naaman comes back and says, Elisha, this was so wonderful. Thank you so much for healing me, and wants to give him some coins, wants to give him some clothing. And Elisha says, no need for you to give me anything. You know, you were healed by your belief and from God, not from me. And then Naaman leaves. He's very appreciative. But Gehazi thinks, well, wait a minute, Elisha should have got something for all of this. So we continue our story with Gehazi going to Naaman and getting some clothing from him and saying, my master changed his mind. He would like some money from you. And he gets these things. And then, when Gehazi returns to Elisha, Elisha's like, where were you? And he has these things, right? He's hiding it. He's telling untruths. He's being not trustworthy. And he tells Elisha, I've been here the whole time. What do you mean, where was I? And Elisha knows. He says, didn't my spirit go with you? Don't you know? I know where you were. And because you lied and you're no longer trustworthy, you're not my trustworthy servant, and you are being untruthful, then now you have this skin disease that Naaman had, and not only you, but it's going to be cursed onto your whole family. And it's just, we're teaching the kids about being trustworthy. We're teaching the kids about being truthful, because this month, as you know, we're talking about integrity. So that's where the story is. If you're the storyteller, you will have actors to come up and help you if you choose to do it the way it is written in the curriculum. Obviously, if you have a different way that you'd like to tell this story, that is fine too. But if you choose to do it the way it's written in the curriculum, you will have some name tags for the king of Israel, the king of Aram, the little young girl Elisha. You'll have name tags, so they just go right around their neck. You'll have to pick some older kids to act these out for them. You'll tell them how to act. They're not actually speaking the words. The words will be from you, but they will be doing the actions. So it's a fun, different way to tell the story, but if you have another way to do it, please do that. That's fine with us too. After story, like always, we will be doing our offering. We'll do our blessing, and then you'll go back to your individual classrooms, and you'll have a craft and a game. So if you choose to do the craft this week is going to be Naaman washing in the river, right? So you'll have a cup. You'll have a blue piece of paper, which the older kids can cut out a little water. I'm so artistic. You're going to be so thankful. Alicia's will be much cuter, I'm sure. And then you'll just tape it right on here. We tried to glue it, but because the cup's a different shape, it's not completely round. It was a little bit weird. The kids can try and glue it on there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's water. He's going to be dipping in it. It should be having waves. It's fine. We've already put the holes in the bottom of each cup, and you'll have a straw rather than craft stick because this moved around a little bit easier. So you'll have each kid will have that, and then they'll each cut out their little Naaman pieces, which they'll have one where he's dirty and then one where he is clean, and they can color those and then cut those out and then just glue them together over their straw, or tape them if you'd rather use tape, that's fine too. And then the kids can they'll see the dirty Naaman, and then they'll practice him dipping in the Jordan and coming up clean. So that's our craft. Because of COVID, we're going to be giving the kids, maybe give them 4 crayons each, 5 crayons each, just put it in front of them, and then just when you pick them up or when they're finished with their crayons, we'll just go ahead and put them in a separate container that is for the used crayons, and we won't use those until those have been sanitized. The scissors, each child will need their own scissors. If you're going to do tape, I would just have you do the tape for them, so not everybody's touching the tape. We don't have enough tape dispensers for each child to have that. But if they do the glue sticks, if you're going to try and do the glue sticks with that, like I said, it didn't stick on very well. It was a little bit harder, but if you're going to go ahead and give that a shot, give each child their own glue stick and then set all those supplies aside so that we're not reusing them. And everybody's not touching each other's scissors and stuff like that. So you know what you're doing. You don't need me to explain all this to you. Anyways, that's that game, that activity. Secondly, if you still have time, which at Thornton this last week, we barely had time to go through and pray with the kids. But if we have a little bit more time at the end, or if you don't want to do the craft with the kiddos, we do have a game that we're going to be playing Find the Button, or Who Has the Button. And so that's all written out in your curriculum as well. You can go ahead and read that. It's going to be talking to the kiddos about how one person's going to be hiding the button, right? And they're all going to say that they don't have it. They're all going to say they don't have the button. But obviously one person does. And the person who is it is going to have to decipher who it is that they think is lying. It goes along with the being truthful that we played earlier. I have given enough buttons. They're if you're with the older kids, you're going to have the buttons that you pin on yourself, and I have enough that each child can have a button, so we don't have to wash those in between. If you're with the younger kids, Alicia's going to have some stickers for the kids, so each child can have a sticker, but whoever's it at the time will be holding their sticker in their hand. The others, we can put it on their back or just hold it. They can put it in their lap and wait until later to put those on. So I think that is it. This is what we're doing this week. We're talking about being truthful and trustworthy and having integrity in that. So again, if you haven't read 2 Kings chapter 5 in a while for Naaman, go ahead and do that. And I hope that this answers all of your questions for this weekend. I cannot wait to worship right along with you and to teach these kiddos about God's love. So thank you so much and have a great week.